Our society has an obsession for reason and knowledge. Knowledge is associated with culture, professional skills, and spiritual development. Therefore, it seems that ignorance must be avoided at all costs. Is that so? I'm Cavalher. For me, ignorance is a pathway to wisdom. Cristina_Botelho asked me on Instagram's tag #AskCavalher, do you think mediocrity is better than ignorance? This question is so deep that I will answer to it in 2 videos. This one is on ignorance. Check out the other one on mediocrity. First of all, I must say that I believe that everyone should have full access to education and culture. I would never suggest that not having education and culture is something positive, especially in countries like Brazil, where the ignorance of the population is our government's undeclared agenda. But in this video, I am focusing on another perspective. The obsession for reason and knowledge is typical of the third dimension because reason and knowledge increase the ego's power, and building a strong ego is key to the psychological and spiritual development. Because without that, it is impossible to access the fourth dimension and getting in touch with the soul. Because without that, it is impossible to access the fifth dimension and getting in touch with the spirit. That's why, once more, I am in favor of the unlimited access to knowledge and culture. Mankind is late, though. Buddha spoke about the fourth dimension 2,500 years ago, and Christ did the same 2,000 years ago. But mankind insists on the third dimension until the present day. People believe they know everything. They are certain about everything. And they have a lot of convictions. This way, they will remain in the third dimension forever. Well, beware. Having convictions is a demonstration of ignorance. Only people with weak egos need convictions and to convince other people about them because they can't stand life's immense uncertainty and the fact that their point of view is one amongst several. People with strong egos are psychologically steadier and are able to deal with uncertainty and relativization. People with a strong ego access the fourth dimension at some point. But what is the fourth dimension? The fourth dimension is the unconscious mind. Through the unconscious, we can access the soul, or, according to Carl Jung and the Jungian psychology, the self. Unconscious means literally, I do not know. If I am unconscious of something, it means that I do not know that thing. And the fact that I don't know something doesn't mean this something doesn't exist. As soon as you enter the fourth dimension, you find out that this immense knowledge that you have is all but a tiny bit of everything that there is within yourself and in this infinite universe we live in. Your knowledge is a small island in the middle of an ocean of ignorance. You find out that your beliefs, your morals, your religion, your country's laws, the things that you learned in college, and even the personality traits you believe to have are relative, are just one version of the reality, and there are many others. Instead of affirming and repeating everything you already know, it is much cleverer and interesting to acknowledge your immense ignorance. Because when you do that, you open mind space to grow. You choose Either you continue to be who you have always been and to believe that this extremely limited knowledge that you have always had corresponds to everything that there is, or you realize that both yourself and human life are infinitely larger. The unconscious mind reveals to be an infinite source of new powers and new abilities you can develop. A psychological processes designer like me abandons all convictions. The knowledge I already have. I don't need it anymore. What I really try to accomplish is to continuously acknowledge my ignorance. Only by a continuous awareness of the fact that I do not know am I able to continuously open myself up to the unconscious mind. When I am working with someone or at an organization, I do not try to display my knowledge. Above all, I do not have the illusion that the knowledge and the techniques I applied to previous people and organizations will ever work again. Standardized solutions simply do not work. People and organizations are living creatures, therefore unique. When I'm working with someone or at an organization, I do my best to learn everything about that entirely new universe that doesn't look like anything that I have ever seen before. My psychological processes fit yourself and your organization perfectly. Since they never repeat themselves, the processes I design have as natural consequences creativity and innovation. That's why I am able to help you to develop new powers, new abilities, and unique talents.